Have you run into instances where, so we talked about how the school systems that typically kids are in the Detroit metro area are fairly homogenous, where parents have had a harder time with the idea of the program than perhaps even the students themselves?
Absolutely. I'd say a couple things on that. One is we certainly encounter parents that, because of the own homogenous experience that they might be living, that are very uncomfortable with the kind of learning experiences that we're presenting, just because they're new. They're new to the student, just like they're new to the parent. And in situations like that, we can generally, through prolific kind of explanation, explain experiences to parents wherein they're willing to buy in enough to let their young person participate. And I occasionally get some of those parents who then seem like they're itching to participate. Well, now that I've heard about it, is this something that you allow parents to attend? Generally, we don't, just because that changes the dynamic for the students. But I would say that's certainly something that we come across. And I know that each student in the process of the program reflects a lot reflects on their own bias and things that they think about others and where those assumptions came from. And in the process, sometimes has a challenging time looking at their family's role and their upbringing's role in creating those sorts of things. So there is, for some students, and not for all, because some students do come from very supportive families that really understand the mission of the program and embrace it. But for some students, there is a really painful process that's part of saying, you know, maybe what mom and dad taught me doesn't make sense for me anymore. But that's really a part of that coming of age that's a natural part of where they are in life anyways, that they seem to be at that place where they can accept mom and dad as they are, claim their truth for what it is, and then figure out if there are parts of their truth that they might need to work to influence mom and dad or grandma or whoever. And we certainly have dialogue around those issues because they're challenges that the students face in taking their experiences home.
A similar story could be told about our Board of Trustees. I mean, you would think that when you build a group of volunteers who are committed to this whole exercise, that they would come into the room fully informed on what the issue is all about. But the fact of the matter is, I have been now involved in it for, well, 20 years of classes, and it took us 4 or 5 years to get it all going. Every year I'm learning something else, some other dimension of this whole diversity issue, and how empowering it is to just stay aware to what every personality brings to the table. And we many times have sat around at the Board of Trustees level and said that we're probably learning as much or more than the students are just by going through the exercise.